Yes, guys, welcome back to SFeatleyTV, and we're here for the Liver Awareness Show. We're back for another show, and yeah, this one is going to be more football related or sports related than most others because the things we're talking about today, and I wanted to discuss today in terms of the health and being aware and making people aware is there's a few things. There's the safety of people going back in stadiums being at full capacity because most stadiums are at full capacity now. So I'm trying to see what the safety of that is. And then the second thing is just how our lives have changed due to the pandemic, due to COVID. How do we live our lives? So I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you smash the subscribe button. Very important you do that. It really does help. So please do that. It really does help, especially shows like this because this is the most important show of the week. So please share the stream. Please do subscribe. Please hit the like button. This is what the channel is for. This is the main part of the channel, right? This raising money, raising awareness. This is what this channel is all about, right? For these shows. For these sorts of shows. So yeah, so please do that. It really is important to us. Um, yeah, so safety of fans in stadiums. Now, um, obviously, if you've got something to share about it, do come on. More than welcome to. The link is in the chat. Um, I don't know because I'm not going back to stadiums. I'm not going back to the Arsenal stadium. Let's put it that way. Um, but I wouldn't feel safe at full capacity at the minute. Um, I mean, I want to try and see what the number of cases are. So let's just have a look at the number of COVID cases. Okay. So as of 3rd of August, it's gradually gone back. It's gradually crept up a little bit. So um, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Overview. Trying to see statistics in the UK. Within 28 days, that is. No, I went in total. So yeah, in the last 28 days, was 131 cases, the 104 daily total of people with deaths. Just trying to have a look. But yeah, for me, I'm not totally convinced it's safe yet. I've had both of my vaccines done, by the way, but I'm not totally convinced at the minute. Yeah. But it's it depends on how everyone feels. It's like I know we've got to get back to normal, and I know we've got to get back to doing the things we need to be doing to get the country rebuilt, we get the country going again. But it doesn't mean I'm just gonna start going out and about like I was before, um, and not take any precautions or anything like that. If I still go to the hospital, I'll wear a mask. If I still go to if I still go in shopping centres, I wear a mask. I remember I went on a breakaway in Manchester. When I went into the city centre, like I was wearing a mask. I didn't like all the people around me weren't wearing masks, but I didn't wear I wore mine because for someone with a patient, someone as a patient as myself, it's um, you've got to take precautions. Um, but still, it's it it's always going to be um, sorry, it's what am I trying to say? It's it's still going to be for me very 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 like worrying. Um, I'm always going to be worried about COVID cases because you can still get it. Though I've had like both jabs, you can still get it and still be quite ill from it. But you just limit the risk of dying from it after having both vaccines. So, like, you have to be cautious in what you're doing. You have to be very cautious in what you're doing. But that's the thing. And but again, everyone's different. Everyone feels like it depends on how everyone feels. Like like no one has to wear masks this time. No one has to do this. No one has to wear masks. No one has to um, sorry. No one has to wear masks. No one has to um, take the precautions that they usually did. Um, but yeah, we got Tiho in the building. How are you, mate?
I'm doing okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're in the Netherlands. I mean, how's the situation for you guys in the Netherlands now?
It's a bit dodgy, I think most people are vaccinated, but it's, I don't know, I think we're on the red list, and, well, we just got out of the red list, I believe, but it's a bit dodgy with stadiums. We are allowed to go back, but a minister or something of health said that the French have to remain seated, and that
Mm.
if they stand during the game or cheer, they wouldn't be allowed back. But basically, every fan is standing in the game, so probably next week are gonna be games with no fans, but it's just gonna be we'll just have to see.
Yeah, I mean, we are gonna have to see. It's and this is the thing. I mean, like this is also a different thing as well. Is that like when I'm talking on stream about it, I might be talking about the UK, but it can be completely different to someone who is watching in America or watching in India. I mean, India is a nightmare at a minute. Canada's not been great. Watermelon is so big. I mean, it's only I think only today is I think Mel's going for her nephew's birthday, or she would be on the channel today, talking about this. So yeah, like you've got Mel who's struggled like with in Canada with it, Not that having it herself, but just been locked up time and time again, and it's affected different areas in different ways. I mean, you saw the Olympics compared to the Euros, where we're getting fans in stadiums. The Olympics, there was no fans whatsoever. You had no fans. So you sometimes when you go on streams and you talk about the pandemic, you've got to be careful just to say, look, this is happening in the UK. Right? It's not happening in anywhere else. It's just the UK that this is happening. You get what I mean?
Yeah,
T-Hub.
it's
Yeah,
basically a completely different situation in most countries.
yeah. I mean, uh, just trying to find
Yeah.
because you have to be very cautious as well. Because what do you think in terms of when it gets towards the winter? Do you feel? I mean, that you're do you feel worried that they might end up in another lockdown again? Like
Not
we,
necess-
despite it.
Not necessarily because I think more people will be vaccinated than now, but depending on how everyone acts, if everyone just doesn't rush it, doesn't crowd everything fully, if people just take it slowly, build up with crowds and everything, we could be safe, but it's entirely dependent on everyone. It really is.
Mm, just looking at next tests, vaccinations. Because we have, I mean, we have to be careful now because the coronavirus deaths, I think in the UK have gone past 1 million. I believe. I believe they did. Um, so yeah, um, they've been over 1 million now. So it's this. But anyway, go through some comments. Big up my bro. Gonna come on in a few. Uh, I only wear masks now in small confined spaces like buses, hospitals, taxis, etc. Yeah, that's fair, man. I mean, I I obviously try and wear it if yeah, if um as much as I can. Big up, evening all. Big up to you guys. Big up Stephen and T Hart. For me, it's wrong that it's full capacity at games. That's why I won't go to any for now.
I agree.
Um, yeah, you agree?
Yeah, because
Okay.
full capacity is too big of a risk, I feel, because not everyone is entirely telling the truth. They just want to get back into the games. It's not a 100% safe situation.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that totally, mate. Um, you have if you're gonna do it like at full capacity, you have to be very careful. Um, and I think there's been a lot of pressure from outs. I think that the government's been very pressured into making that decision
Oh no,
because
fuck.
I think a lot of people have been they've been sort of like expecting them to release um let them come out and to have them at full capacity um and knowing they'll the problem is that they'll get slaughtered either way. They'll get slaughtered for being too protective, right, and not letting everyone have free will and do what they want. And then they'll also get slaughtered if they keep everyone in if we let everyone out and the COVID cases go up, if you get what I mean. So either way, they don't sort of win in either situation. Uh,
Mate, we are Ben White has COVID.
Ben White's got COVID.
Yep.
How is it? Can I just make a point here? How is it
Yeah.
it's only Arsenal that are getting COVID cases? What the fuck have they been doing?
I don't know. It's like it's been five now. Five
Five.
in two matches.
This is taking a piss. This is taking the
And
piss. What the fuck have they been doing?
do the players not care about it anything or something? I don't get it. It's like they don't want to
What?
play or something.
I mean, like,
But
I'll be investigating. If I was, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. If I was the head doctor in Arsenal, I'd be freaking doing an investigation. Where the fuck they'd have been? What the fuck are you lot been up to?
yeah,
Honestly, how the fuck
disgraceful.
has that happened? Why?
Oh,
One, no, one or two. Okay, I get you. Three, I'm like four. That's a bit weird. Now you're getting towards five and six. I'm like, that's nearly the whole fucking team out. That's half of the team gone.
yeah. Okay, wait. I've just seen the reasoning, and it's just a stupid theory. Someone said it in a group chat, and now he said he left training early Friday and wasn't pictured in training today. So it's probably just a stupid theory. Never mind then. It could be possible, but I don't know.
So this, either way, like the others are still got like I know
Yeah, true.
Aubameyang's back now, but even the others have got COVID, which is still alarming. How is it four players have managed to get COVID?
And we
That's
have a
over a
lot of
quarter of the
yeah.
squad.
Yeah. FA should just postpone the game or something, but they won't, considering it's Arsenal.
No, but yeah, but why should they? What has Arsenal been doing?
Because, well, sure, but health is still more important
Yeah,
than money.
I get your point, but like even the Premier League is like, well, you're gonna have to play your youngsters, mate. What the fuck have you been doing? It's it doesn't seem to happen in any other club.
Yeah.
Um, Full capacity is definitely too soon. Euro should never had full capacity stadiums, especially when it was at Wembley for all the games. Good point. It is better to protect and save lives rather than being careless to satisfy the people. That's a good point. Very well made. Ben White has COVID-19 done. Well, it's a theory at the minute, but uh, I wore my mask the whole game at Goodison Park last weekend as precaution. I put it on when I left the house and kept it on for the whole day. I mean, like out in the open when you're not in crowds, it's you don't have. I wouldn't even I wouldn't wear it. Like 'cause I can't stand having it on at times because even I struggle to breathe. Um, because I'm anemic, you can end up out of breath quite easily. So having it on doesn't always help. Um, but if I'm in the hospital, I'd always have it on. Like even if I have to walk a long distance, which is if I walk more than 10 yards at times, I can end up absolutely knackered. That's on my worst days. Like, well, actually, worst days I can't get out of bed. um,
Do you
by
still
the
have to
way,
wear a mask
like
in England?
yeah, by the way, the reason we're not doing it with the green screen today is because like I'm trying to, like I said this morning, if anyone didn't see me this morning, I said I was trying to keep my foot off, like trying to rest my foot because my toe is badly bruised and it needs to rest. Uh, Hopefully tomorrow I should be able to have it on at downstairs. But yeah, it's not just Arsenal, Stephen. If one of us is, if if one of it, of if one have it, it's very easy to spread it. It's a very good point. A very good point. I remember last season, all teams had games cancelled. Almost had all the teams had games cancelled. Yeah. Uh, Stephen Kinsey is right. It can be, uh, yeah, spreading very quickly. Um, Smash the likes. Fire. Why should Arsenal be able to cancel a match because one of their players has corona? No, you've got a squad of 23. No, no, I'm not saying. We didn't say they should be able to cancel. I didn't say that. So I'm not expecting us to. I don't think they would anyway, mate. So like, it's a whole season to go yet. There's plenty of time to fit it in. So um, if they have to postpone anything, but like it's, it's not like we were gonna win the game anyway. To be honest, let's be honest. Like who actually thought we were gonna actually win the game? I'm gonna put the link in the chat again for anyone who hasn't got the link. There we go. Uh, put it in there. Let's just spam it. Just spam it. Just spam it. There you go. Put it in about 3
Do you
times.
still have to wear face masks in England?
What's that?
Do you still have to wear a face mask in England?
Not really. No, you don't have to. But I choose to.
Yeah.
Ty thought you would win. Yeah, Ty always thinks we can win against anyone. Like, come on, do you really take that guy seriously? At times. King Said, how are you?
I'm alright. How are you?
I'm alright. Yeah. What do you want to say? Like,
Yeah,
what we're talking about, man?
first of all, I do think the game, even last week's game, should have been cancelled. I mean, if you remember last year when Villa, for example, had
You mean postponed?
a couple of players with COVID, they postponed their games,
Yeah, that's what you
even
mean
though the
postponed.
schedule was more tighter last season and we had to play more games. They did it, but it's like whenever it's Arsenal, we never get anything. We don't get favors by the FA, and I don't understand. Like, it's not one or two players. Like Aubameyang had COVID, like I said, and Willian, Ronison, and now Ben White. That's a total of 6 players, where 5 will
Again, Ben White is just
the
theory,
game.
so
So
Even then, like I can hear the point. For me, it's that
because for
we're
me,
gonna.
can you imagine if it was like one of the other teams like United or Liverpool missing? Imagine Liverpool if Salah and Mane and 2, 3 other players had COVID, they wouldn't play the game. They would cancel it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I don't like to speculate whether they would or not.
But
For
they did
me,
last
like
season. The evidence is there. It's not
yeah,
like
I get that. Part of me though is like, um, we weren't gonna. Part of me is like, we weren't gonna win the game anyway. To be honest,
no.
we
It's
didn't
not
think we were
about
gonna win
winning or
anyway.
not winning. It's about fair
No.
play for me. It's like you have to have
Yeah,
guidelines.
yeah,
You have to protect the players also. I mean, like for example, like I said, it's still sick. He's not feeling
yeah,
well. That's why he hasn't returned.
yeah. Static. I wear my mask inside supermarkets and inside buildings and indoor sports venues. Just to be safe. I always knew the coronavirus would be over. It is part of our normal lives now, sadly. Well, yeah, but it's not with anything.
Yeah,
Hey Kings, the
yeah,
tinfoil
I
hats
do
are out.
Static.
When it's Arsenal, we never get this. Other clubs, lol, your fan looking for conspiracies.
Uh,
He's a Tottenham fan, man, so
yeah, I know,
he's gonna
I
wind us
know,
up.
I know. I know Dan. He's a funny lad. Anyway,
Mate, look. At least, like we look for conspiracies. Like yours tried to look for conspiracy against Arsene Wenger when he like decided to have the shits.
yeah.
You tried to blame us, right, for taking your own chef, mate. So, like, It's also main guys. All conspiracy. He did it.
It's crazy.
King
But
size, you
yeah,
live in Gambia, right?
All because you could cook some pasta, right?
but it's going to be interesting to see what is going to happen with the numbers now that all Premier League teams are
Yeah.
having full capacities, and if we're going to see a trend of viruses spreading going up. And if it does, what would they do?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna load that up actually. COVID cases, new cases, from about the right. The right bottom is from about the 3rd of August to the all the way up to the 3rd of August they had. So I need 3rd of August. Right. 3rd of August, 21,466 cases. Right. 7-day average of 25,471. And by the 19th of August, which was 2 days ago, 36,273. 30,379 average. So it's gradually going up.
Yeah.
I think it was always going to go gradually going up. I think it was always going to do that. But then a lot of things have been open for a while. From about the 3rd of June, here's the thing, the 3rd of June, all the way up to the 21st of July, my sister's birthday. So pretty much the end of the which was the end of the Euros, shall we say?
Yeah.
It's gone from, well, actually no, 24th of May. So 24th of May, 2,362 cases, all the way up to 46,000
Massive numbers.
over a month. So
Do you think full capacity
use
stadiums
poison
are contributing to that?
Nah. We did not do such things. Nah. You took your own chef. How did we do it? You took your own chef. It's your fault.
And let's be honest, we didn't need to poison them to win against them. They were shit back then anyway. Let's have that right.
Well, no, actually, it was West Ham that beat them, innit?
Yeah.
Teddy Sheringham knocked the penalty and they got them. They're sent to the Europa League. One of their own. It's like having Kane
It's the
fishing off the West
Spursy
Ham
way.
and then scoring them in a penalty.
I know.
And not who better to knock him even further out of the Europa League than Henry to score an hat-trick against Wigan.
And King Henry.
The king.
Like,
Yeah.
Spurs to lose 2-1 while Henry gets an hat-trick. Sounds like poetry.
Poetry in motion.
Yeah.
Stephen, do you think full capacity stadiums are contributing to the upgrade in our, the more number of cases?
Missed his penalty. Who scored the penalty then? They did score a penalty. I'm not having that. Either way, mate, you lost. You lost.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah. Oh, look! His greatest matches at West Ham. Big up West Ham. They got it. The greatest matches. Oh, Fletcher and Ben Ayoun. Oh, okay. Pasta one, Spurs ill.
That's
I'm gonna show this. I'm gonna show this. I'm gonna show this headline.
best one Spurs. Poison lasagna claim as 10 stars. Paul extra. Wow.
That's the quality. That's just beautiful. I love it.
West Ham legends.
I fucking love this game. I fucking love it.
It's quality.
2006 news paper headlines. I just want to see the images there. So we got that one. Yeah, I can't find any. It's on UK. Oh, don't. Anyway, back to the story. Maybe the chef was a West Ham fan. It's quality moments. Love it. I love it. Anyway, right. Look, I wouldn't go back to the stadiums anyway at the minute, just from like my own personal point of view. It's like when they're gonna do this protest tomorrow. Part of me wanted to go. I really did want to go. But the reason I'm not, and don't forget, don't worry guys, because tomorrow we're doing our protest tomorrow on the channel. So though we're not there, we'll still be there, right?
Just from a distance.
Yeah, just from the channel, and yeah, we'll be doing our own sort of protest for the game, before the game, so we'll still be part of it. And yeah, and that'll be at 2:55 p.m. 2:50 p.m. something like that. So yeah, make sure you tune into that. Then obviously, yeah, make sure, and then we also got the game on straight afterwards. But yeah, I was tempted to go, but A, I didn't feel well enough. B, the foot was killing us. C, I couldn't afford it anyway. So, like, because I can't get this car, I can't use the car. I've got to use the train. So it means I'd have to miss it. But the only thing I would say is that it's not a bad thing, because at the minute I wouldn't want to risk it in terms of the coronavirus levels. It's so easy when in the middle of a protest to easily catch it, which is why when like we originally protested after the Super League, which I agreed with, it was always in the back of my mind about what's going to happen to the number of cases. Like the cases could go easily up. Yeah, I mean, would you go to the protest at all?
Well, as you know, I have a 2-year-old daughter.
Well,
and
yeah, if you had the opportunity.
if I had the opportunity, I would, but not now. Not now. I do understand. There's rumors saying that Stan and Josh are going to the game tomorrow. I don't know how true that is.
Bullshit.
Yeah, But if they are, even more important that they
Yeah,
protest. But I think it's good. It's the first home game. It's a London derby. It's against Chelsea.
yeah, and it also lets them know that, like, wait, don't think we've forgotten.
Yeah.
Don't think we've forgotten, especially since you've like spent how much on the club? You spent 130. Well, if you no, you haven't spent. We've spent. You've let us spend 130 mil, and you ain't. We ain't got anything in return. I still stand by what I said. I still think the squad's worse. We have more depth like last season than we have this season. For me, in
Yeah.
terms of depth, we've got youngsters in the place of our first team.
Yeah.
That's why I said we haven't got any depth, and like compared to last season. Um, so yeah,
I disagree with. It's not youngsters. It's just bad players.
yeah, we spent it on bad players,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry, it does come down to the owner, right? Because the owner has put people in charge who have got fuck all, who know fuck all about players, what players we need, what players to buy, who are good, who are shit, right? And also how to get rid of our deadwood. And that is also an owner problem because he's put those people in charge. But it's also a manager problem because the manager should know what he wants. He should know what he wants, right? And if they're saying we're going to get Ramsdale, he should be on the blower literally and saying no, no. I want Sam Johnston for 10 mil. We can get it cheaper.
Well, but Arteta wanted Ramsdale.
Well, he's a dickhead.
Yeah, he is.
I'm
He
sorry.
is.
How can people sit there and I'm sorry. I know this is a little awareness show, by the way. How can like you sit there and say like Ramsdale? Someone said like we loved him and like he's actually been a solid keeper. I'm sorry. He was relegated 3 times. One time to League One. That sort of says something, doesn't it? Come
It's
on.
better. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, like I said, the protest I would happily go to if I was fit enough to do so. The only problem is that with the COVID thing, I don't feel that um I just feel that it's a big risk still for me personally. Um, maybe my immunosuppression actually does help towards coronavirus, but that still remains to be seen. Um, but yeah, I mean, Tiho, would you take the risk?
Probably not. Maybe in a little role, like not in the active process. Maybe a little bit outside, but I
Big up Solo in the chat. I hope everyone that is protesting at the Emirates stays safe and social distancing as well. Big up Jason in the chat. Smash the likes, please. Smash the likes. Please do that. It really does help grow the channel. Main thing is as long as you look after your health and same with your families too. Arsenal spent more money than United this season. I'm not sure why anyone wants to protest
Well,
what
we're
because
not.
it's not
because
out of
we
Turkish
Unless
because
pockets.
like I just said, they've put people in charge that have let us spend 130 mil on players that we don't need. I'm sorry, but Tavares was not the main priority. The Congo was not the main priority. Uh, even Ben White was not even the main priority. And even then, I don't think we got the right one. We should have got Dunk for me. I would have rather Lewis Dunk for me. He's been more proven in that position at Brighton than Ben White has. Um, so for me, um, there is a reason to protest. Look at the state we're in. We spent 130 mil, and we look in a worse state than we were last season. So for me, that is a perfect excuse to protest.
And
And
let's
like
not
I said,
forget,
Solar, don't forget the European Super League.
Yeah.
Has everyone forgot about that? This is why we need these owners out. They will get that through at some point. We do not get them out. Simple as that. And I expect the same with the Glaziers. It's like Solo. Like I could quite easily sit there and say to you, "Well, you spent 120 mil on your players this season. Why are you still? Why do you still want the owners out? They spent your money, then you. You've got you a team that could win the league. What you like? What's to moan about? You know what I mean?
Stephen, I do have to go. So
Yeah.
take care.
Make sure. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, Tio.
Yeah, of course.
Uh,
Take care.
Big up, Luca. Yeah, I think we know that, Luke. Luca won out. Charlie, how are you, mate?
Not bad, mate. You?
Yeah, not bad. What was the score in the end against Deutsch?
5-0.
as always, they always win 5-0. I should have bet a 10 on it. They always
Yeah,
win always 5-0. It's crazy.
yeah. Um, yeah. So full full capacity stadiums, Charlie. What's your feeling behind it?
I don't know. I can see both sides of the story, to be honest.
I mean, what would you do in your case? Like, have you been? I think you've been to the stadium already, haven't you?
Yeah, I went today.
Yeah. How was it for you?
Good. There's some measures in place, not a lot, but there's some at the actual ground.
Can you give us a description of what measures are in place at the minute?
Like, in the toilets, there's only certain parts used, so some are taped off. In like queues for food and drink, there's stickers on the floor and stuff like that.
Okay. So, yeah. I mean, do you still wear mask whilst in there?
In the concourse I did, because there weren't many people around me. I was just next to my dad, so I took it off then because we're in a bubble.
Oh yeah. Okay. So at least there's some like measures there. And this is the thing. I think like this is how our lives are going to be changed. Um, uh, this is how it's like life's going to be changed by COVID. And now it's changed due to COVID. Since the Glazers took charge of Manchester United, the net spend per season works out to be 41 million. And that's the thing, Solo. We spent 20 mil of actual Conky money. We've spent since Conky's taken over, out of his own pocket, we have spent around 15 to 20 million pound. Like that is a perfect reason why we should be protesting. That's not good enough. How are we supposed to compete with our rivals like Chelsea, Man City, even Liverpool or Man United if we're getting our owner to spend around 15 to 20 million pound? Simple. We can't compete with that. So
Or if you're not going to put in money, then you have to make sure that you have the best scouting system. You
to
have
find the best
competent
talent, yeah.
people who negotiate contract.
Yeah.
You have competent people who negotiate sponsor deals, and you have a competent manager and ambitious people on the top.
And a competent structure of how to bring in players and bring out players and not lose money.
Yeah, because
And we don't
uh,
have that.
teams have had success with a sustainable model. I mean,
Yeah, and we don't do that. We spent we used to have one of the best scouting facilities in the world.
yeah,
Shit now.
yeah, and let's not forget, Roman Abramovich haven't spent money in Chelsea for over 8 years,
But they win
and
stuff.
but they still win stuff. When he stopped, they've they've won another Champions League. I think they've
Because he's
won
got the right
two or
people in
three leagues. They won a couple
there.
of FA Cups, a couple of Europa League, World Cup. I mean, they've won so
Because
many
they've got the
trophies.
right people in place.
Yeah, that's it. But
There you
it's
go.
like I said yesterday. It's like we buy players, but there's no plan on when we're gonna sell
Yeah.
the player, and how we're gonna make money from the player, and how we're gonna move forward. It's like, okay, welcome to Arsenal. Here's a contract. That's it. In a
But
couple of
even
years'
then,
time,
we
we
haven't got a
renew it.
manager that ups the value of the player.
No. But and that's down to the owners again. They can't. The problem is they can't identify who a good manager is.
Yep.
They in their head they think this is like American football or some of those American sports where all the teams it's another sport, it's another system, it's draft, it's not, they don't buy players like in football and stuff like that. They don't understand football, they don't understand how it's run, and they don't understand the role of the manager. This is not an American sport. They don't know. They thought in their head that it was a good idea to employ a manager that's never managed before in the middle of one of our biggest crises and transition at the same
Mm.
time. I mean,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense at all.
Any. Anyway, I mean, like our
And
lives,
even
obviously.
let's say it was an experiment. The experiment has failed. Why haven't you sacked him?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. That's why he's like pointing towards the board now rather than the manager. But anyway, but I want to get to how like the second part of this.
Yeah,
Um, like obviously COVID-19 has changed everyone's lives in one way or another, and um, and want to just go through of how it's sort of just impacted everyone. I mean, everyone initially have gone from meeting up with everyone, going out and doing what we wanted. We've all been shoved online. Um, um, you, Charlie, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah. Big up, True. 6 likes. Yeah, keep smashing the like button, please. It really does help if you do that. Please do that if you can. Everyone that's watching, please do it. It really is important you do so. Apart from the transfer ban, Chelsea uh, uh, had had Chelsea had they have spent each and every season over £100 million. Chelsea spent yeah. That's a fair point. Um, but again, like it's because they also make a lot of money off the youngsters they sell. So, um, but like I said, I want to go to like we've all gone from like meeting up at football stadiums and going to games and stuff like that to being shoved online straight away. We now most now or like we have our like most of us have our YouTube channels. We all talk about football online, and uh, now we sort of get back to going back to stadiums. We won't sort of go away from what we were doing, which was talking on talking on streams, talking about football, talking about opinion, having great opinions, and making great content, whilst um, now going back out and enjoying the fact we go back to football matches.
Hmm.
I mean, Charlie, how's it in sort of impacted for you?
Yeah, well, if it weren't for COVID, I wouldn't be in this industry at all. That's the first thing. Just not seeing family, stuff like that. It did hurt at first, but I got over it eventually. Now, hopefully, we're getting back to normal as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean that's the main thing as well. It's like initially I had this going, but it wasn't until like the first lockdown that I decided to sort of really try and take it somewhere
Yeah,
before. And obviously, I don't think that it would have taken off as much if it wasn't for COVID, because a lot of people wouldn't have needed to go online to look for stuff to talk about football, um, like they would usually do when they go to games. But I think now even people that watch stuff and don't actually have a YouTube channel and just watch YouTube channels,
yeah,
they won't go back to not going on YouTube channels and stuff like that, because like they get to meet other fans. I mean, unlike like going to a game and talking with your mates, most of your mates, when you go to all your mates, they'll go to the game with you. They're gonna be Arsenal fans. They're gonna be Man United fans, or they're gonna be Man City fans, right? And whereas here, you go to meet people outside your social bubble, shall we say, from different
yeah,
parts of the world, and there'll be rival fans that you can talk to and banter with. So you get to have the banter that like you share with your mates about a certain club, but you don't get to share towards like rival fans. So and it's also sometimes like a safe space to do it. Because if you'd say like do it outside in sort of the pub areas or something like that, if someone takes it the wrong way, then you ain't got a screen protecting you.
yeah,
Have you? So um, it's really impacted us in that way, but I think now because of that, people won't go back to how it was before. They'll go to games, but they'll spend most of their time still online, talking about football,
yeah,
talking
like
and
what I'm
having
doing.
rival opinions. Is that?
Yeah, like what I'm doing now. Still
Yeah,
going to games, but coming back.
like what you're doing now, and also to have that extraordinary content of doing vlogs and stuff like that. So we got Bargav on. How are you, man?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. I just found out that I just got your link for it, so I'm like, let's come and support.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, mate. Um, yeah. First of all, about stadiums at full capacity. If you're going to like, is it something that you're happy with, or feeling nervous about, or something you
Well,
don't agree with in a minute?
I mean, right now it's kind of dependent on what you think of the vaccine. It seems like if it was America, I think like some people are okay with the vaccine and some people aren't. That's a different story. But it just depends on how safe you feel and what risks you want to take. At the end of the day, like for me, I've never been to a game, an Arsenal game. It was supposed to be my first Arsenal game for preseason this year, and it got canceled. Um, that was my third time trying for that.
Fly to my hometown in London, man.
Oh no, I do think there's a time in my life I'm going to spend like an entire year in London, get season tickets, but there'll be a time. Like I just don't. I just don't know when that is.
You'll be a long time.
Well, I do like like if there's one thing I want to do in my life, it is go home and away for every game. I mean, I do want to see like all the stadiums and I do want to see all that, but we'll see. You have to be at a decent point for that. It'll be cool to go see all those games. Like Crystal Palace. I mean, this is my 16th year watching the Premier League, like realistically, and it's obviously Arsenal hasn't held up to the. I haven't seen the highs of Arsenal yet. I've seen a lot of lows. We've had a couple great. There's always been like those moments where you think you're turning it around, but it hasn't happened. But as far as like going to stadium, I think it's been a year and a half into COVID, and at this point, I think fans do deserve the right to choose whether to go to stadiums or not. And a lot of it's their family. I mean, a lot of it mental health wise, I think a lot of people do need going to football games, so people can make their risks accordingly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'll give you one thing. I mean, there's like where I'm at, there's NBA games and there's NBA games and there's hockey games last year, right? And the playoffs that happened in the summer. I could have gone to like a couple of them, but I kind of just didn't go. But for the most part, the crowds were amazing. The atmosphere was back. If you've seen a hockey game or if you've seen like an NBA game with the NBA finals this year, it was fantastic. Which is like the American correlation.
Yeah, but it's, I think, like you said, it's like depending on how safe you feel. It's like I just said earlier, I don't think I would, just in case, for me. But I mean, but this is the thing is, and I think the great thing that we've all had now, with probably like maybe the one little positive from COVID, is that we've all met each other online over football, and you create friendships online whilst talking about football, whilst being in the middle of a lockdown or anything like that. And that's the great thing. And I think now is that because of that, you yeah, because of that,
Big up Static as always.
Big up Static. Yeah, because we have that connection now of meeting up online and all that, you wouldn't go back to how you were before.
I mean, that's
So
what I've always
if
said.
you have your
That's what I've
friends
always
online-
said. That's what I've always said. Like, I mean, I went, like for the first like 14, 15 years of my life, years like supporting Arsenal. It was a lot more by myself in a sense. I mean, I'd go out to the events sometimes around here, and you'd find like crowds, but it's not the same. It just depends, because a lot of the U.S. fans are at different portions of their lives in terms of being an Arsenal fan. Some people have grown up with it. Some people haven't grown up with it. Some people haven't. There's other sports here, so like soccer's like their third or fourth sport, and they don't. It's not going to feel as natural as some of the people in the UK. I'm not going to lie. Like, I mean, like for me, a lot of like telling people about like American football overseas, it's just not going to be the same either. There's a lot of correlations, yes, but overall, like for this year, like probably the last 2 years, I'd say I found like really good friends in like the soccer football sort of thing. And that's just because like one was COVID, one was Arsenal. We're just in a damn bad situation, and we're kind of rallying around. And I mean, and I think like when COVID disrupted football, I think most people didn't realize what they had until like down the line, if that makes sense. Like, people who are going to the games every day, and then then all of a sudden it gets taken away, and people didn't realize what they actually had when football was on all the time.
Yeah, and I think now people would be very appreciative of what they have of going to games, and compared to like some football fans who don't get that opportunity. So like me, I can't afford to go to games every goddamn week. It's £9 a ticket to go to Arsenal, which is not.
Yeah.
It's you can't, which I can't. You can't afford, man.
Yeah, I know.
For which, and so for a round trip, for me, it would be about 30 quid of fuel. It would be food that's a tenner. So you're talking about 150 quid, something like that. So when I was doing it usually. So yeah, it makes everyone very appreciative of now what they've got, and everyone's had to take a step back and sort of realize what they've got and what they haven't got. So
well,
yeah.
but that's also, it's the other thing. It's like you don't have to go to stadiums every day to like enjoy it. Like, I mean, obviously it's going to be a blessing for me to go for the first time. who knows? I mean, it'll be nice to have like some of the social networks that come with going to stadiums, but more importantly, like there's people that go to the bar, that go to like their local pubs every day and enjoy the game. There'll be people that go just for the tailgates. I can imagine you guys have that like the pregame specials that have similar like U.S. basketball, where U.S. basketball or football,
yeah,
where everyone gathers like
there's
5 hours before the
someone-
game.
Yeah, there's always gonna be there's always gonna be a group of people that are going to be um Thank you. My God. Christ almighty. Oh. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, hang on. Have I sent that? Sorry, I do apologise.
Yeah, Reese, I don't know about. We'll
Yeah.
see if we'll see about the social distance properly thing, because you know when you're dealing with like a whole bunch of people, you're not gonna control everything.
Yeah.
Let's hope it happens, but we'll see.
Sorry, I just sent the wrong name. Right. Yeah, stadium's full capacity allowed for Man City for their first home games as defending champions, but it is good to see them following the social distance guidelines properly. It's because there's not hardly any of them there. To be honest, I do have a problem about full capacity of stadiums, provided those who are vaccinated enter. Yes, vaccination isn't the cure, it is in the right direction. In Spain, they are only at 20% capacity. We got Luke on as well. How are you, mate?
I'm here, man.
Yes, stadiums at full capacity.
Been a while, man. Been a while, man. I'm good, man. I'm good.
Yeah. How is it sort of how do you feel towards it? I mean, I don't feel particularly sort of safe doing it at a minute.
You know what? You know what?
How would you say it?
What, the full capacity? The thing is,
Like,
in my opinion, right? I think it's a good thing to have full capacity, right? But I understand where you're coming from. Yes, it's more safer. People still got to be cautious with COVID still around, but I think it's a good idea because you've seen people going out, vlogging, all that stuff with their clubs, who they support over the weekend, every Saturday 3 o'clock kickoff or whoever you support. But I think yes, you have to be cautious. You have to show a COVID pass, and like when I went to Arsenal versus Chelsea in the pre-season friendly match a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we obviously had to show COVID. And the thing is, I haven't been to a games there, and yes, I understand people got to be safe. People might still not be well. Like for you were going to go to the protest. Fortunately, I can't make it tomorrow to the protest because I've got things on. So technically, if you would have gone, then fair enough. But I think generally, I understand where you're coming from, but I think it's fine. I know we still got to be cautious, but in my opinion, I think it's all right at the moment, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, still though, it'd be. I'd like to see it sort of when we get towards the winter because at the minute cases have gone up since it's happened, and when we get towards the winter, uh, 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 big up talk as well. Big up talk, man. Hope you're all right, man. Yeah. When it gets towards the winter, it's that's when it's going to be whether it's a good idea or not. And I do feel that there will be restrictions probably in the winter, just to sort of curb the spread of it, because it is the winter. It is kind of like a flu-like sort of infection, disease. So when it gets to that sort of colder weather and people are struggling to like stay well because of it, you are gonna have that problem. And I do feel that then there will have to be some restrictions in place.
Definitely.
And whether that means
Do
there's
you
a
think-
limitation on people going or not, I don't know.
I get your point where you're coming from about the restrictions, but do you honestly think that with the restrictions, do you think they'll end up bringing back masks? Right, I know
Yeah.
we have a choice. I know we have a choice where you're thinking, right, people don't
I
have
think
to
you
have
should. I think you should be wearing a mask if you're in a stadium.
Wow. Some people don't even wear it, even.
I would. Because
You should wear it because because of your liver and all that stuff. That actually makes.
not really, because I know kids that have had liver disease, that got liver disease, and they've had the COVID. They've had the COVID-19, and
Yeah.
because it accelerates your immune system. Well, because you're immune suppressed as a liver patient, it doesn't give you much effect. So
Yeah.
So for some liver patients, it's not really been that bad. So that's how it's sort of different to most diseases, to some diseases. So but it's always just better to be there as a precaution. So let's say like you're going to a taxi or you're going to a hospital or you go to anything like that. It's any confined space is always best advised. You still see it around in shopping centres. When you go into a shopping centre, they always advise you wear a mask. Still advise you need to do so.
Yeah, listen. I mean, listen. At the end of the day, the best thing you can do is just take your risk management a little seriously. I mean,
Yeah.
I live in a place right now where it's hard to find.
Copy what everyone else does as well. So
Yeah,
just because someone does it doesn't mean it's fine to do it, because he might just be totally ignorant to what of what's going on around him.
listen. Right now, where I live, I mean, the amount of ICU beds you can get are really limited. I mean, it's almost impossible going across 3-4 cities, like 400 miles apart. So, I mean, the best you can do is do your risk management, and if in the case that you do get hit, you can say you did everything.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing.
because like the only thing if that does if it comes down to it and then like you end up catching it, like you're gonna be pissed off with yourself if you've not taken every precaution possible.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But it's like I said, I mean, like our whole lives have changed on because of this whole virus. We're now all online, and even though we go back on, and like I said before, though we've gone back on to football stadiums,
A lot of
we're not
people.
going back.
A lot of people don't think we'll get another lockdown. Well, nobody knows.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what's going to happen in the winter.
You don't know what.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows where the world's at?
knows?
Realistically.
Yeah, I mean,
but
go on.
Nah, but like seriously, like I mean, just take your risk management stuff really seriously. I mean,
It depends-
the worst thing
yeah,
the worst
depends how
thing
people-
is the worst thing is going to the having to be at like an ICU and they don't have room for you, and you're breathing out of your mind. And if you know that feeling of like breathing extremely hard and hoping for help from other people, like you feel trapped in that situation. Like you would kind of want to avoid that situation. It's not a good feeling. At the end of the day. So, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean you sit at home and you just avoid everything. You take your chances.
No.
You take your chances.
It's like.
But if you think about it, right? Go on, you speak first, Stephen. You say you're.
Go on.
All
Go on.
right, cheers. Because if you think about it, right, we've sat at home like pretty much for the whole 5 months from like January or December till whenever we got given to go. I think it was like March, April, or something like that. We've been able to see people, right? And then who knows what's going to happen? Like, I personally, in my hands, I thought we will get a lockdown, but I'm starting to think that we won't get a lockdown now, because I know I don't have to agree with people what they say, but I just think it's hard to say at the moment. Like, it's really, really difficult to say what's going to happen, but
Depends how people are treated.
I don't know what it's like in
honest.
America. Apparently, America are back to normal. So,
I don't think they are, to be honest. But anyway, a lot. It depends. I think the lockdown depends on how people treat it. If they take it seriously, they might avoid it. If they don't take it seriously, right, and they think it's just disappeared because woo, look, COVID don't exist no more. Because they don't think, then
it's never going away.
well, yeah, then it's definitely gonna it's gonna backfire, and this is the problem. Some people seem to be on some people seem to like use take these luxuries and back, and then not take things seriously afterwards. Right? They just think, oh yeah, it's disappeared. It doesn't need to be like monitored anymore.
Yeah.
Right? COVID's never going away.
No, of course not. People
Never ever going away at all. And if people think it is, and it has gone away, then they're sorely mistaken.
Yeah.
Big up Maisie in the chat. I hope you're well. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, give it time. I think. I mean, obviously, like we've had this for like a year now. People have given up their weddings. People have given up their dating. People have given up their luxuries in some ways. But at the end of the day, like I mean, there will be a turn. It can't be forever. It really can't. Every storm does run out of rain eventually.
Yeah, definitely. But anyway, I think we're gonna have to end it there anyway.
That's fine, man. Yeah, big up, man. Big up, Macy. Big up, Devils United. That channel's going very, very well. Has got really good potential, and I did obviously saw it, and it has got really good potential. And I listened to one of your streams recently, and I remember you mentioned it. So big up everyone. Big up John
and if you want to
talk, man.
And by the way, yeah. And by the way, if you want to check out Devils United as well, the link is in the description below. So make sure you go and do that right now. Hit that subscribe button. Positive growth, definitely. Right, that is going places, and we're back tomorrow anyway with the Conky Out protest first, which is at 3 p.m. 2:50 p.m. Then it's the game itself at 4:15, 4:10, 4. The stream is, and then we've got match reaction. It should be at 7:07. So I think there's someone who wants me on another show then, so I'm going to tell them I can't do it.
Is that? Do they want me to take over? It's totally up to you. Do I know who it is?
No. They'll just arrange another time.
Right, that's fine.
But yeah, make sure to smash the like button, please. Make sure to smash the subscribe button. Really important you do that. And yeah, we're back, like I said, tomorrow. Until then, everyone stay safe, stay well. Keep up with, and make sure you keep vigilant, and we'll speak to you tomorrow. Until then, take care. Bye bye.
See you guys.